Do you experience overwhelm and stress when planning for trade shows? Or maybe you're planning your very first show and you find this whole process just to be completely overwhelming. You can't believe how much work it is. You're not alone. I created this episode just for you, and I was in your place many, many times. Today, I'm going to share with you 8 tips to help take the overwhelm out of your trade show and event planning. I'm Jim Cermak, the trade show coach and the founder of Trade Show University, where we are dedicated to helping businesses get more leads, get more profits, and more ROI from their shows. And if that sounds like you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the tools available to you. So, tip number one to eliminate overwhelm is to utilize the show contact, especially if you're brand new to this. The show prospectus and the amount of paperwork can just be overwhelming. Okay, it can be too much for you to handle for sure. I totally get it. Have the show contact walk you through all you need to know so you don't get stuck piling through pages and pages and pages, volumes of pages on stuff that doesn't apply to you and your exhibit. So that's tip number one, utilize the show contact. Tip number two, dedicate a block of time to get it done. The more, if you dedicate out an entire day to just knock out as many of the details as you can, then you can put it behind you and you can move along. Obviously, if you've got a more complex booth, you've got a lot of things, you can't do it all in one day, but block out times. So maybe from 8 to 10 every day for the next week, you're going to focus just on trade show stuff. So you know that once you're done with that, you can get on to other things in your job. So that's tip number two, dedicate a block of time to get it done. Tip number three, simplify. Don't overdo it. If you've got a lot on your plate, you're feeling overwhelmed, make things as simple as possible for yourself. You may have visions of a grandiose activation or some spectacular exhibit that no one's ever seen before. But if you've got so many other things going on, maybe for your own sanity and for your own stress level, just go with a simple plan B. There's always more shows where you can roll out your creative ideas. Also, reduce the number of marketing pieces that you're going to do beforehand and pre-schedule your social media posts. There's so many wonderful tools out there to help you to do that. So you can put all those together. You could schedule them ahead of time and then not have to think about it after that. Lastly, consider outsourcing some of your marketing and design work so that you could take that off your plate and have a professional handle it for you. So that's tip number three, simplify as much as possible. Tip number four, double check your deadlines and then prioritize. Understand all of the important dates that you need to get things done. If you need to get marketing pieces to the show, you need to make sure you've got your electricity ordered by a certain date. Whatever those things are, make sure that you have all those listed on a spreadsheet and prioritize. What things do I need to work on? What things are very simple and what things take more time, and make sure you are prioritizing. Clarity and planning will give you some peace of mind. Also, if you have multiple shows coming up in a very short period of time, like in the spring or fall, where a lot of shows can be packed back to back to back, make sure that you have each of those shows' deadlines planned on the same spreadsheet, because there might be some shows that are further out but have sooner deadlines. So make sure that you have all your deadlines in order, so that and just being able to look at that will give you some peace of mind. So that's tip number four, double check your deadlines and then prioritize. Tip number five, create a checklist of everything that you're going to need for your events and then pull it up for the next show. This is going to save you a ton of time, a ton of stresses. Everything will be there on one page. Just document your processes as you go. Save yourself some headaches in the future. Now, this is going to be more helpful for future events rather than just this next one. So a good suggestion for right now is to find a checklist online. There's a ton of them out there. There's a ton of great ones. Maybe look for ones that are specific to your industry, or there's a lot of great general ones out there. So go look for a checklist and use checklists to help you with your planning and reduce some of that overwhelm. That's tip number five. Tips number six, don't recreate the wheel. Unless you've had some major changes from your last show, Reuse your old banners, your backdrops, your display pieces, even your marketing materials. No sense in recreating for every single show. Also, pull up some of the old paperwork and documents, especially if you've done the specific show before, and that'll help you to fill out what you need for this show based on what you did for last show or for previous shows. So that's tip number 6. Don't recreate the wheel. Tip number 7 is to delegate. Figure out all that needs to get done and then divvy up those responsibilities. It doesn't have to all fall on your shoulders. If it's only you and your company, though, however, then maybe you spend some money to outsource whatever that you can. Or if you need to save some money, how about reaching out to a local college to get a marketing intern to help you out with some of these tasks, doing the paperwork, making sure that you know all the deadlines, anything like that that can help you reduce some stress. So that's tip number 7, and that's to delegate. Tip number 8 kind of goes back to tip number 1, and that's to utilize that show contact one more time before you submit everything. Schedule a call with them. Make sure that you've crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's. You've thought of everything that you need for the upcoming show. I have looked over my paperwork so many times and still forgotten things. So make sure you get an outside set of eyes that's an expert that can help you to make sure that you've got everything taken care of, everything covered. They're going to make sure you have all the details handled. And then you can breathe just a little bit as you get ready for the show. So those are the 8 tips. Which of these did you find helpful that you're going to try? Or maybe some other things that you do to eliminate some of the stress and overwhelm. Drop those in the comments. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe, hit that like button, like this video, and make sure you keep coming back here each time to Trade Show University. We're here to help you get more leads, get more profits, and better ROI. We'll see you next time right here on campus.